And hello, everyone. I'm your host, Get Good Fox. Welcome back to State of Decay 2 Lethal Zone in the beta. We are going to continue building up our new base, Lundegaard Lumber Mill, which admittedly still has some ways. Oh, I'll speak of the devil. Level 3 workshop completed. That frees up a lot of our, let's get some morale going. That frees up a lot of our labor right there. Looks like we don't have anything to start scrapping. What do we want to build is the big question I have right now. We just finished the field hospital. We're going to level 2 over here. The big question is, what are we going to do with all these large slots? I do want to change leaders, but not until I at least want to get the lounge to level 3. So let's not do anything right there for the moment. Let me see what our options are. A forge, an auto shop. So we don't need a barracks. We don't need a farm. The Haven device could have been an option. I don't have a Haven device though. This is the problem with large facilities. I've mentioned it before, this idea that there aren't that many large... Okay, I'm not saying that we couldn't just throw a large facility in, but which of the large facilities could I add that's going to actually matter? That's really the big deal. What is actually going to matter? Let's get an advanced biochem station installed. And we have 3 more. So we could put a sniper tower. That's like, once again, that's kind of a luxury facility. Like, I am at the level of player skill that I don't really need the sniper tower anymore. It's not like, it's not important to me. Let me go ahead and do an auto shop. An auto shop, at least, there's some benefits to it. So I'm gonna put an auto shop here. A trade depot will go here. And, maybe a sniper tower in the corner and a trade depot right here. I really am not sure. And then with this, once again, there's only so many facilities of each category that I think are really, like, exceptional. And most of them, we've already gotten most of them. Like, I could put a shooting range here. I could also leave it as a Red Talon officer's quarters. I really, like I said, it's that's the big complication of this base. So anyways, let's keep our stuff going. Let's go and do this. And in the meantime, a whole new base for the stranded soldiers. Wow. They don't just want a base, they want a whole new base. Okay.
Heading your way.
Looks like I need to pack this up. And I'm probably gonna, let me pack one more fuel in, because like, we're about to use the fuel on the way there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on it. But it's, when I really started thinking about what makes a base good, what makes a base not good, really the big question is, how many facilities of each type is enough? And the thing is, you can't have every single facility in the game. And there does seem to be a concept where the more large facilities you have, the less small facilities you have. And the fewer the large facilities you have, the more small facilities you have. Compare this base to the container fort, for example. The container fort, we'll just call it I'll call it a 2-6. 2 large, 6 small. So it's a 2-6. This one is a 5-3. Now, if you add 2 plus 6 together, you're going to get 8. And if you add 5 plus 3 together, you're going to get 8. So it seems like 8 is kind of the magic number that they balance large bases around, not including any additional built-ins. Like, another one is, consider the farm compound, I believe, is a 4-4. I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4-4, meaning 4 large, 4 small. And once again, that is like completely in line with this kind of pattern they've got going on. Okay, hold on a second. Let's get in here. And then we'll see what we can do with the rest of our labor. Okay, we need one more person, but this is just about done. That'll give us our 4th labor. In we go. So, the reason we're using a field hospital is because the field hospital, well, it's this. We have a glut of 5. It's the issue that I'm talking about, like, you know, this whole idea of a balance. Like, the container fort's like a 2-4. This is a 5-3. Well, when you consider the idea that you can only have so many large and so many small, well, how many do you really need? And then the follow-up question is, after your needs, what about your luxuries? And then you would cut it off at, like, you know, these facilities, sure, you'd love to have one of every facility. That would be nice. But if you have your needs, you need to have it, and then your really good meta luxury facilities, and then maybe you have a 3rd tier of kind of like, I just think they're fun facilities. Well, how many facilities do you need? And the problem with 5 large is that I run out of the facilities that I consider really good, and now I'm digging into the facilities that are just kind of like, man, I could do something with them. Like an auto shop, I'm not saying it's bad, but I would never keep an auto shop constantly running in my base because there's just no need for it. So I'm literally just building it because I guess, what else do I build? I don't know. There is no need. Like, people will say, why is Whitney Field better than the farm combat? Well, because the problem is that you run into this issue of, like, you don't need this many of them. Like, you don't need this many large facilities. Like, you start scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to figure out what you want. And so the reason we have a field hospital is because we have too many large facilities, and if I can use a field hospital, it saves me from building an infirmary, and that frees up one more small facility for me to use somewhere else. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. Okay, so let's see here. What do you got for trade?
Something for me?
Sure.
Nothing. I must have bought good stuff from you. Or you just don't have anything good to sell. Clean the toilets, done. Okay, that puts us into cheerful morale. Good. The better our morale, the faster we work. So all of that is perfectly fine. But another example is like, okay, generally speaking, if I have to pick between more large facilities or more small facilities, I prefer more small facilities. And the reason for that is because there's just better small facilities that are spammable, such as the crafting still. If I can build 6 small facilities, I'm probably going to build 2 crafting stills. And the reason for that is simply because the more crafting stills you have, the faster you can manufacture, because you can do one brewing, whether you choose to brew beer plus the growler of barley wine, or a what do you call it? Ethanol. You basically, if you have 2 of them, you can do 2 at a time. If you have 3 of them, you can do 3 at a time, and so forth. Really, you guys want to be right in the middle of the road. Of course you do. Right in the middle of the road. Got to go all the way around, and fortunately I can catch the road again. Whereas with large facilities, it's... Okay, so I guess that's an interesting subject. So let's talk about...
Almost there.
What are the really good facilities of each category, right?
If you say so.
There is a feral there. Let me plug another shot on him right here.
Perfect outpost location? Check.
There we go.
Wow, that wasn't so hard.
So they are giving us threat reduction. That's really stinky.
You're welcome.
Feral's not dead yet. That's interesting. While he's rolling around, I'm just going to go ahead and spike him. Yeah, you want to try it? Oh, too bad. Whoa, he set me on fire. Okay. Let me go patch myself up. I don't know when. They're going to get there eventually. I have a feeling they're not really going to have anything particularly good either. So one thing that immediately I don't like about this base, and like this is something I will count against it, I just can't even build a crafting still. That's just not an option. Because why is that? Because the crafting still has to be built outside. So now I guess you could make an argument that maybe the sawmill allows you to construct materials. Okay, so someone pitched the strategy that what if we captured the sawmill early in the game and then used it to finish our base? The thing is that, like, look at the cooldowns on these. So this is, let's add it all together. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And these are taking, like, you know, 15 minutes. This one is like, it's not showing me the full. This one's 10 minutes. This one's 15 minutes. This one is probably, somewhere in between, like 12 minutes or so. So you're telling me, like, it would take like 30 minutes just to build one rucksack of materials? Now, sure, maybe. And that doesn't even count that's how long it takes to manufacture. But look at this, like, there's a time, this is how long it takes, even longer, because remember, this has been going for a while. This is how long it would take before we would be able to activate this a second time. So, I mean, yeah, sure, I mean, you're building some bonus materials, but it's not fast. That's the other thing. It is not fast, is what I'd like to point out. Let's detect infestations. We're having an infestation. To no great surprise, we're having an infestation issue. Okay, these guys should have moved in by now, so let's see,
Do you think we should get rid of some of these infestations, maybe?
Let's see if they move. Yeah, here they are.
Come in. Make yourself at home.
Guys, got anything for sale?
Glad to see you're still in one piece.
Ammo. Ammo will not quite fit, so I don't need that.
Hey, stranger.
I want to get rid of you guys, too, because you guys kind of stink.
Hey, stranger.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look to see who has the most valuable equipment, because these all seem similarly good. That looks like an Arctic warrior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recruit you.
So, we want you on our
And now I'm going to enlist.
Them? Not so
Now I'm
much.
going to access her inventory. It was an Arctic warrior, and now I'm just going to take everything she owns.
That's a lot of stuff.
And now I'm just going to give her the shablapple right
On
here,
your mind?
right now.
For what it's worth, it was a tough one. But we all agree, you gotta go.
I don't even know what to say about this.
that's a good response. I'll give it to her. That's like good response. That's another reason why, generally speaking, I do not like having 9 people in my community, because they were an ally, and how else would you get rid of them? Let's say you needed to get rid of a bunch of allies. Well, that would be challenging to do if you were not allowed to recruit them and then just immediately dismiss them like that. And then, you know, what if you had 5 enclaves to shut down because, you know, maybe they had really bad bonuses? You know, you just don't have the option to do that unless you are below 9 people, because 9 is the game's soft cap. And if you don't understand what the soft cap means, the soft cap is basically the limit of survivors you're allowed to have before some of your recruiting options are taken away from you. And soft just means that it's not the literal cap. The hard cap is 12, because it is possible to go beyond 9 people. Let me see. Where is that screamer? There's the screamer. Let me just target this guy and get him out of here. Let me drive cautiously so we don't get bloatinated. Nice. And now we'll target this location. Put some shots down. Oh, I didn't even realize it. We actually torched that whole infestation. Wow. Don't mind if I do. Man, 2 shoves would be great. 3 shoves feels bad. Yeah, look at that. 3 shoves. 2 shoves would be great, but 3 shoves is just, doesn't feel good. Okay, so we should be clear on all of our infestation problems. They always find a way to sneak up on you. Like, even every time I think I'm on top of them, they're like, nah, we're still here, by the way. I need fuel, don't I? 25, what's our fuel cap? 35, yeah, we need fuel. So our construction efforts are still moving along. What are my, I kind of just, oh, we already have one installed. We'll put another one in there. This thing can't be upgraded any farther. Here we go. Here's something we do. Satellite broadcast. A little extra money never hurt.
God, I am so sick.
Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about the facilities that are, you know, actually like halfway decent. So with a large facility, you have the big two. There's really like, I know I've mentioned a few times that 2 is kind of the magic number. There's 2 facilities you always want, and that would be, you always want a trade depot, because like the trade depot allows you to actually mobilize your influence. And because like basically, if you've never used a trade depot before, one of its immediately good uses is it allows you to find kind of like your essential mods. Like the mods, like if you want to find your ammo presses, well, the best way to get all your ammo presses is from a ammunition vendor. Well, in an ammo vendor, you might randomly get one to appear on your map. That's certainly true. But the best way to do it is to, okay, let's take a look at that real fast. Okay. So let's look at this. So I can't reactivate this. Not because I don't have the labor. So this would take 44 minutes before we would... Basically, it would take 45 minutes before we would be able to do this again. So it's not just that it took like 12 minutes to get 2 parts, but then we would have to wait 45 minutes before we could activate this again. So basically, it would take 15 minutes to get 3 materials, and then we would have to wait 45 minutes again before we could activate it. And over here, yeah, sure, I can, like, do that. But that's kind of the problem, is that, sure, we can do it, but it's very, very slow. So, you know, I mean, I like that people are thinking, like, oh, what about using the lumber mill to build materials to complete your base? I mean, I'm not saying you can't do that. But what I am saying is that I don't think it's very efficient. I don't think that is really I don't think that's going to be the go-to option.
Put that.
I'll put it that way. And that's simply because this system for it it's just too slow. It takes too long. Let's grab all this fuel. And the other thing is, if you wanted to build your base up, well, you're talking about skipping right into the final base. Now, maybe if you're playing on Standard Zone, that wouldn't be too big of a deal. But if you're playing on, like, Nightmare Zone or Lethal Zone, it takes, like, getting the 3,500 influence and the 8 people. And now you might say, well, what if you start with, like, a builder? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Or not a builder. If you start with a trader, and you start with the 4,000 influence, so all I got to do is recruit a few people. I mean, the thing is, at that point, you have 4,000 influence. What if you just bought materials? What if you just bought 3,500 influence worth of materials? It's like, influence is very flexible. It can be used in quite a variety of ways. I kind of want to just spike. These 3 pharaohs are a little dangerous. Let's just spike them real quick. There we go.
Another project finished. Great job, folks.
Okay, so the auto shop is done. And like I said, I'm not saying the auto shop is bad, but it's just yet another one of those things where I don't really like having the auto shop up all the time. There are some advantages to it, no doubt about it. Like, one thing that will be nice is that we will save fuel. Because you can see right here, fuel filtration, 30% fuel efficiency. Now that's pretty sweet. I do like that. And, we do have the advantage of being able to craft repair kits at a cheaper rate. Like over here, this is the 3-for-1 deal. Basically, each repair kit is 70 parts each. And when you build 3 here, you only have to pay $140. So, it's 3 for the price of 2. That's a good deal. You also have the ability to tune up your car, vehicle stealth, and vehicle endurance. Maybe vehicle endurance might be worth it. I don't really care too much about vehicle stealth, but vehicle endurance, maybe it's worth it. 70. It's basically that 70. Remember, 70 parts is one repair kit. Is 30% endurance worth the repair kit? Maybe. It could be. I mean, we have it. We might as well use it. We can also install another salvage furnace in here, which means we can scrap things more effectively. The lounge is about the max. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure how I want to handle some of this stuff because I believe we will remove... Here's the question. Do I want a shooting range here for the 20 stamina? I like the 20 stamina.
I wish I'd spent more time with my friend Max when he was alive. I should go pay my respects at our favorite bar.
Okay.
Your head on.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, we could do that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't remember that. Life of Regret? Like, I don't remember that quest. That's kind of why I want to do it now. I'm like, wait a second. Life of Regret? What quest is that? Layla.
I need to work on something of my own for a bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what? I think I will go with the stamina. Like, you know, the lounge, I feel like the lounge should be enough. So, the next big question is, do I want to take the hit right now? Because we could go into movie night. But we will lose 4 labor. And we're currently building a lot of stuff. I'm just going to do it. Okay, let's go for the shooting range. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I'm just going to take the shooting range real quick. And then we'll upgrade the shooting range. Over here... Yeah, I don't think we have enough labor. I would love to activate movie night to get that 25, because, like, the 25 morale is going to help a lot in terms of building things quicker.
Staying busy?
No. Where's recently added at? Recently added is useful for, What? Who has my... Where'd the pyro launcher go? There it is. It should have been under recently added. Okay, game, getting kind of tricky dicky on me. I don't appreciate that game. Unless I was just blind and didn't see it. That's always a possibility.
Wow. This is what being in the right place must feel like.
Oh, big news as well. On Twitch, my new strategy has been a resounding success. I will eventually show it off on YouTube, and I will make a guide, a more high-effort edited guide in order to really demonstrate like what makes it effective and how to replicate it. The reason it's so awesome, though, is that it is a game-changing, revolutionary strategy that changes the way you play the game. Like, people have been saying, hey, I've been looking for a new way to play State of Decay, and all of the ways that people are pitching to play the game different are mainly just ways to make the game more painful and inconveniencing, but not necessarily fun. I have a way that it still does require skill to play the game. Like, you do lose options in the process, but it's also very, very fun. It's wild. It's like, it's probably, I doubt 99% of people have not experienced a play. No, none of the other content creators are producing anything like this. It is a game-breaking kind of strategy. It's a lot of fun, and kind of no matter what play style you enjoy, it makes your play style better. Like, if you just like killing zombies, it's great. If you like doing quests, it's great. If you just want to kind of sit around and do nothing, it's great. And it just absolutely upturns even Lethal Zone. Like, I am just absolutely plowing through Lethal Zone. Like, the amount of, like, progress we're making is really, really, it's really, really good. If you want, you could see it right now on my Twitch channel. But, so, like, basically, if you're just like, oh, I don't want to wait, because remember, I test all of these first on Twitch, because on Twitch, I play for, like, 2 to 4 hours a day, typically. And that means, like, there's just more time for me to experiment with these ideas. But my goal is to try to max out that community real quick. I'm gonna try to do it today, and by today I mean 2 days ago, because remember, you see all the videos 2 days later. I am gonna try to do that. And once I get it all set up, I'm gonna try to get all the footage necessary for, you know, showing you how to make... I've given it the strategy, a name, and everything. It's called Ultra Cash with Foxington Moorbucks. Or just Ultra Cash for short. But it's like, I don't invent strategies too often, but let me tell you, when I invent a strategy, it just changes everything. It's just wild. Oh, here we go. We gotta find some jugs of ethanol. I was wondering, what am I doing here?
I was just thinking how much I needed that.
Oh, now I gotta take it back. Do I really need to return home, or can I just drop it off at a... I do need to return home. Some of these quests, it's like, go all the way over here, then drive all the way back just to complete a quest. It's like, okay, game. Okay, Undead Labs. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We'll just drive back, and I guess, I don't know. I don't know what... So, a lot of these personal objectives, I don't know what they're... Like, some of their triggers are based on, like, their traits and whatnot. This is one of the ones I don't know what the trigger for the Life of Regret is. I know the reason why the Aunt Prepper is so common is because there is no trigger for the Aunt Prepper. It's one of the... I guess so that you can always be assured that you have some kind of a personal objective. The Aunt Prepper is just there to make sure that you've got something to do. And that's why the Aunt Prepper is such a common personal objective. Whereas the other ones, they do require you to have particular traits. Like, I'm pretty sure you gotta have a chef in the group to have the personal quest for the greatest meal of all time, or whatever it's called. And I think you gotta have a music person for the, whatever the music quest line is. But this one, I have no idea. Like, beer lover, weightlifter, maybe it's beer lover? Maybe, like, you know, she's going down to mix a drink or something?
About a mass migration of survivors heading south across the Rio Grande. As you bring plenty of food and water. Make sure you got a ladder.
Okay.
The network is quick to judge anyone who won't live by their rules.
Here you go.
Let's go ahead and refuel. I feel like that is a reference to the wall, or the wall that was supposed to be built, which I don't think ever happened. Which isn't that an inconsistency with the game's storyline? I thought the game's storyline occurred in early 2000 or late 29 or the late 90s. Because if you look at the technology is curiously, you know, we're in the era of cathode ray TVs, or CRTs. I'm not saying people today can't have CRTs, but if that's a reference to, you know, Trump being in office and constructing the wall, the border wall between the U.S. and Mexico, that seems like an inconsistency within the story. Like, I'm not making I want to emphasize that I'm not making a political statement about anything, just an observation that does seem to be an inconsistency in the storyline. Because DJT should have never happened, because the outbreak would have interrupted and destroyed all of the world. Destroyed, like, all the world's governments and everything. Just a thought. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Okay, let's upgrade this. So now, look at this. So we can't do any more. Why? Why? Not because we don't have the labor. We can't do it because we have to wait for them to recharge. So even if we wanted to use this base to mass produce materials, it would take forever to do it. Like, I've got to wait 15 minutes to do this. I got to wait 30 minutes to do that, 44 minutes to do that. So this is not an efficient way of, I mean, like, just going out and getting a rucksack of materials would be more efficient. I mean, I guess you could say, like, you know what this does is basically, let's look how many materials we'd be losing. So we would be losing 3 materials per day. When we fully max out this base, this is basically going to this is going to build, basically we're going to get like 1 rucksack per day, and that is enough to pay for our upkeep. That is what I would say. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better than that, but not a whole lot better. So I just don't really think it's all that worth it, to be completely honest. What am I going to build here? Trade depot will go here, and then maybe you know what? Like I said, I just don't use the sniper tower anymore. Not because the sniper tower is bad, but there are certain things that are very powerful until you outgrow them. The sniper tower is amazing until you outgrow it. So I am actually tempted to just do a warlord's armory to get another piece of the salvage combo. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I've got enough salvage furnaces. I have 1 salvage furnace left, so we could do that. I could go with it anyways. I could, like, right in the corner looks like a really awesome place for a builder, like a sniper tower. But we could also do the armory. And I do want a trade depot. We definitely want a trade depot. Or we could no, I wouldn't want the armory. I would want the auto shop over the armory. I was thinking maybe armory, auto shop, trade depot. I'm not sure. Oh well, we'll think about it more later on. Anyways, that's going to be good enough for today's episode. We're going to continue the base. This base is definitely taking longer to construct than others. That's fine, though. Like, it is an interesting base. Like, the base, it's a kind of a puzzle. That's one thing I really do enjoy about this base. It's kind of like, just trying to figure out what to do. No matter how good I make this base, though, it definitely has some glaring weaknesses. One of them is that you can't make a still. The still is a really important one because what else are you going to do with your overflow of food? Remember that food is one of the most common resources in the game, and if you have an overflow of food, what are you going to do about it? Like, the still lets you turn your food into money or healing items, and healing items are also money. So it's just, I'm not sure. Like, that's kind of what I think in the beginning. But, we'll see what the base turns out to be in the long run. But till next time, we'll continue working on the base. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, consider giving me a tip. Now that I am a full-time content creator, I am basically... You guys are the boss in that sense, so if you want to give me a tip, hit that super thanks heart icon by the like-dislike bar, or consider becoming a channel member for just $5 a month and keep the Fox Republic running. If you leave any kind of donation, let me know what you want to see. I do take my donors into consideration quite a bit more than normal. And also, if you want to support the channel, jump on Twitch where you can see Ultra Cash with Foxington Moorbucks. It's a very interesting playstyle that, like I said, I bet most people have not seen anything at all like it. Anyways, like the video if it was entertaining. Help me build up the algorithm. Leave a comment. Comments are great for the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel for more State of Decay 2 action. And of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.